Dropping points at this point of the season will cost you the league. Now, going into a game tonight, Mamelodi Sundowns had a 2-point lead over Orlando Pirates, and coming out of tonight's fixture, they've been able to maintain the 2-point gap by winning 1-0 over Durban City. Now, going into a game, there was only thing that was Mamelodi Sundowns that they were looking for, and that was to make sure that they get 3 points. And the way that they went about getting 3 points was making sure that they penetrate last at Durban City. Because on my side, in the first 10 minutes, I counted about 5 times where Mamelodi Sundowns was able to penetrate Durban City. Now, what I was able to pick up from the way that they were able to penetrate Durban City is that many a times, Mamelodi Sundowns was looking to play through pockets where Ulion was available. There was also Ntshabeling. If that was not working, what Mamelodi Sundowns would rather do, they would go around on the left-hand side where Umutiba was overlapping and where Ntshabeling had tucked in. And then also what they were doing is that they were allowing on the right-hand side for Tashkrik Matthews to attack Durban City. So Mamelodi Sundowns, I'd like to credit them very much for the first 10 minutes. In that the way that they were taking Durban City is that they were giving Durban City a lot of problems. Also, the fact that a goal came through a center of a play, I think it speaks of the way that they had approached a game. In that, because Mamelodi Sundowns, the way that they normally play is that they got a build-up play. If you look at closely at a goal that came through, is that the ball came through a center of the park, and then the ball was played through Allende. And because Allende, he had Ntshabeling was just ahead of him, they were able to link a player. And because, as I always say, any midfielder that is able to play to link to a last third of a attack, it always gives them an opportunity. And because Ntshabeling is dynamic, he was able to pick a spot, and Mamelodi Sundowns was 1-0 ahead. At that point, it was always going to be difficult for Durban City to come back, considering the fact that every time they had one bowler from Mamelodi Sundowns, because they were playing so deep, they did not really have an outlet. What it would mean that is that they would play the ball directly back to Mamelodi Sundowns, where it was a direct kick, where Krangekana would be able to win the ball back from Mamelodi Sundowns, and then Mamelodi Sundowns would be able to start their play again. Also, what I picked up from Durban City, the way that they are defending is that they were rather allowing Mamelodi Sundowns to go wide instead of allowing Mamelodi Sundowns to come through his center after they had conceded a goal. Because I realized that, I think they realized that Mamelodi Sundowns are very good when they come through pockets, and I think that is why we were not really able to see much of Sales in the first half, even though he was there. And then I think that is why the substitution was made at a halftime. Now, coming out of a halftime, you would have expected Mamelodi Sundowns to apply more pressure on Durban City, but credit to Durban City in the second half, in that Mamelodi Sundowns, they were not really able to attack Durban City as much, and even the build-up in Mamelodi Sundowns was not really allowed, because I saw at the halftime the coach of Durban City, he brought on Maseko, and what that meant is that Ronald Williams, who are used to playing the ball out of the back, they did not have as much time, because every time Durban City was pressing in the second half, I realized there was about 3 guys pressing Ronald Williams, as well as Krangekana, as well as the other centre back Undamana. And that is why I believe that there was many times that Mamelodi Sundowns, Yabo was broken down. Also, because now Durban City were pressing Mamelodi Sundowns, it also meant that Mamelodi Sundowns were overturning the ball. And I also saw that Mamelodi Sundowns, because they were overturning the ball more in the second half, it gave Durban City a few chances to attack Mamelodi Sundowns. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns, as I said, that every time, if Mamelodi Sundowns you get to run at them, more especially defense, you always give yourself the opportunity to score goals. As we saw that in the second half, when Maseko came on, there was more impotence from Durban City, but but what we've seen with many of team with Betway Premiership is that they lack a lot of equality in the last third. That is why they were not able to punish Mamelodi Sundowns. On Mamelodi Sundowns today's side, I also saw Leon. It's probably for the first time that I've been seen struggling to get through defenders. I would like to credit defenders as a Durban City in that they were able to deal with Leon, because even though ball was being fed to him, every time he was receiving the ball, they would always make sure that there is a defender, Leon, not allowing him any space to have a shot on target, because we know how deadly he can be. With Mamelodi Sundowns side, I would like to credit Jaden Adams, because Jaden Adams today, I believe he kept things moving for Mamelodi Sundowns, because every time you saw that Mamelodi Sundowns, they were trying to start the baller, he would always avail himself. Every time Mamelodi Sundowns were in tight spaces, Jaden Adams was there. I would also like to compliment Allende as well, because every time Jaden Adams was there, Allende was made sure that he was there to give himself as the option to Jaden Adams, so that they were able to play out of a backline to join the final third. Also, we saw that after around the 75th minute, because of the experience of the Mamelodi Sundowns and the fact that they've been able to win a Betway Premiership for the past 8 years, we just saw them take control back of the game. As we saw, they were passing the ball more, they were moving Durban City, even though they were not penetrating as much, but we saw that they were able to control the game more. Bringing on Umshishi, I would also like to credit again bench Mamelodi Sundowns, because they realized that Durban City, they were getting back into the game, and that Mamelodi Sundowns, they need to get control of the game. We also saw them brought Olunga on, because as I said that Durban City in the second half, they were running more, as from what I observed at Mamelodi Sundowns. And if at any time Mamelodi Sundowns would have slipped up, Durban City would have taken advantage. As we saw that we one press, Ronwen Williams, he was pressed high up by Durban City, but unfortunately they were not able to take advantage. Also, we saw that there was a ball that was played into a box. That was a free kick, and Ronwen Williams was also spinning the ball, but they were not able to take advantage of that mistake by Mamelodi Sundowns. Now, for Mamelodi Sundowns, we normally know in the last 10 minutes, we normally just pass the ball and control the tempo of the game, and today was no different, and that is exactly what they done when Umshishi came on, as they were just looking to see the game out. Urinas came on late in the game, but they do not really create much of the chances, as at that point I believe they were just looking to take control of the game and just collect for 3 points. In Mamelodi Sundowns, it's a good 3 points for them, considering that they are going into Africa this weekend, and regardless of what happens, they are top of a Betway Premiership going into the weekend, and they will know that while they are away in Africa, they've done what they are supposed to do, and it's all up to the other teams to catch up to Mamelodi Sundowns. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns, they are playing this weekend, and it will be very interesting to see how they will be doing with first leg Yabo against Tunisia. If you viewed the game different from me, if you have any comments, if you have any standout players that raised their hands today, or if you are not happy about the way that maybe Sundowns they applied themselves, please leave a comment section, like the video, and then I will catch you on the next one. Thank you.